Hello, welcome back to Ginny's. I'm Ginny and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a Faultline cake. So this one I have used some SUGARFLAIR navy and then I've also used SUGARFLAIR extra black or black extra. I will link underneath how I get my black buttercream, so I will put that underneath. If you are doing it, please follow the instructions underneath. It may not make much sense to you right now, but the smoking part is hugely important, so please read the written instructions underneath the tutorial as well. Right, so I have covered this already in the navy and I've got some more of the navy here. The reason being is I'm doing this on a polystyrene for you, just for tutorial purposes, and you didn't want to see the styrofoam. So I am going to be using some black, the navy, and then we're going to do some gold. So I've got this Squire's Kitchen metallic lustre dust. They come in a pack. Absolutely love these. So I've got this one, and the colour I'm using for this is the classic gold, and we'll need a bit of vodka to mix those two together. I'm going to stand now because you're not going to see all of me, you're going to see mostly the cake because that's what you need to see. So I'm up. You also need a cake comb. Now I've got one with this design on it. I bought this as a pack on Amazon. I will link that for you. Right, so buttercream. People say they can't get their buttercream to look really smooth and not aerated. So here's my buttercream. Don't worry when you do this, it might lighten some of the colours, but it will come back. So what you want to do once it's completely done, I like to leave mine in the fridge and then bring it out, and it seems to help the next day. Take your spatula and mix it like this. And as you're mixing it, you will notice the structure of it completely changing. Again, you're putting a bit of air in it, so don't worry if the colour lightens. So keep going, then drag across and you'll see less and less air pockets. And this is the best way. So this is absolutely fab. So do this a few times. And then we're going to pop some into a piping bag and put this on. So all I've done with this bottom layer over here is I have just put it on. Doesn't have to be particularly, that's brilliant now. See? I'm happy with that. Right, so that doesn't have to be particularly perfect because we're going to be going over it anyway. The great thing about doing this one is the edges don't have to be massively perfect either, because we're actually going to bring those edges up, which is going to make it look fab. So let's put some into a piping bag, move this over, and I'm going to put some of this in, and then move this to one side, because we don't need this for the moment. So we're just going to take a reasonable amount, about ½ an inch off the bottom, and then we're going to start, top or bottom, it really doesn't make a difference. You're just going to put it on, and we want a fair bit of thickness. Try and keep your hand in the same place, stare in that same place. You know with me, I always say if you stare in the same place, you won't wander off. So I want a good couple of lines, but we want a fair, like I said, we want that thickness on there, because otherwise as we're scraping, we're just going to come straight back. So just try and make it look all the same. Then I'm going to come up to the top, do the same. So I'm going to come back in, oh, air pocket from there, and go again, just move the turntable, keep the bag still. Going to just come back down, I want that tiny bit thicker. Right, top one, again the same. Keep turning the turntable. Let's get some real thickness in there. Right, lovely. Now, we're going to come in with our scraper. So, same way I've always said with the scraper, you want to make sure that it's hitting the board. If you've got another board underneath here and you can't quite get into it, not to worry, we'll just come in, but make sure this stays straight. Look in one place and keep your hand in the middle of this scraper like this, because if you go down here, it's naturally going to do that. If you do this, it's going to go there. So in the, see, top of the cake here, there, you want to distribute your hand in the middle. So see where this navy part is, that's where your hand wants to be. So, hand all the way over because we want to go in one swoop. Push it up against and just come around. In one fell swoop. You just want to make sure that you're always looking in that one space. So let's strip that off. The joy about doing with black, you get covered. Right, so I am going to go back in and fill a few parts. See here? There we are. Around my top part there, it's not really thick enough. It's not catching. Lovely. And then on the bottom here and here. I'm getting absolutely covered. Or, do you know what would be a better idea? You could wear gloves. Right, back in again. So, make sure that hand is where the navy is. Come in. This is on the board, okay? And look in one place. I am looking the other side of this here, and I'm not going to look away. If you watch me, you'll see I'm not going to look away. Hand over the top and spin. There you go. And we are coming together. See, already that effect just looks so, so good. Let's go again. Same thing. Hand in that middle part, make sure it's distributed properly. The whole thing's down, and off we go again. Excellent. Right, now also, this bit coming down here, the effect looks nice. You don't want this completely round flush centre, so I am also going to get some more. Oops. And in some places like here, I'm going to chuck a bit of a dollop on. One bit there, so that's going to come down. We've got that there. Here. Good dollop on there as well. And that's just going to give it more of an edge. Right, remember to make sure that the same thickness comes out. Right, all the way round. Hand in the right place. It's flush, and let's go. Lovely. Okay, so what we want to do now is just make sure that we keep going. This part here it didn't touch, so we know that's not wide enough. Okay, right, let's go again. Covered. So what we need to do now is this needs to go into the fridge. I'm going to clean this bottom bit up. I'm going to leave the top just the way it is because I want it to look like this. I am going to put it into the fridge and let it set before we do anything else with it. So I will see you probably in around about half an hour. Okay, mine's had an hour, and look, I can put my hands all over it, which is exactly what you want, so that we can get this paint on. So let's move this to one side for a minute. It's freezing. Right, there we go. And I've got a little tub here, and to that I am just gonna put in some of this dust. So I've not put loads in, just like that. And then some vodka, or whatever you're using. Not a lot. There we go. And I've made quite a liquid here, okay? Now, alcohol evaporates off quite quickly. So that's the reason why we use this. But at the same time, when you're painting with it, it can do that very same thing. You can have it at a certain consistency, and then all of a sudden, it will just change consistency and be quite lumpy. So add more if needed. Right, so I've got my brush here. Give it a wipe on the side. I think I am just a little bit too wet there. I'm just going to add a little bit more because I need it to just be a little bit drier than that, otherwise it's going to run down the side of the cake. Lovely. Okay, right. So it's not falling off, but it's not sticking massively either. So what we're going to do now is come in and just paint across the tops. Okay, you can see that already. The way it really picks up is lovely. Right, try to just stick to the edges. Okay, we don't want to hit that inside bit. So it's all really to do with the front. So we're coming right across the front here. Don't make it neat, because that is the nice thing. It's that real kind of effect going across, that's that rough kind of effect there. Sorry, I keep turning that so you can't see. I'll come in from this. Here we go. And it's just so easy. You just keep going all the way around and it's absolutely stunning. All these colours together are just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, then we need to come up and under, which is always so much fun. Right, so again, stick to the front part. I'm moving forward so you can see, okay? And do the very same thing all the way around with this one. Okay, so I'm just almost painting across the top of it on this because that's where you're going to see it. Make sure you give this a swirl every now and again because that dust will settle and then it'll just be more vodka you're putting on than anything else. Right, done again. Up to the top part now. Now my top part here is quite thick, so I am just going to fill in as much as I possibly can towards that top. Okay, so this time you are kind of, instead of right in front, you're just doing the tops, kind of where it falls apart. And again, you don't have to do all of it. None of this is precise or really smooth. It's got that effect and that's what we're really looking for. So I've gone over that, given it a couple of coats until I was completely happy, and now I am completely happy. So I'm now going to do some effects on the top. So I'm just going to clean this down for a minute and then we're going to swirl around and I'm going to show you how to get the two-tone effect on the top of this. Okay, before I put the stuff in the piping bag, what I'm going to do is show you when you see people and they've got these perfectly spaced marks all around the outside. So I am going to take my nozzle that I'm going to be using today, which is a 1M, and then I'm going to, at 12 o'clock, put a little mark in the top. Straight down, there we go, to 6 o'clock, 2 more here. So I'm trying to space them out so that they look right. And this is going to help so much by doing it that way, because you're going to cover them over, you won't really see it. And now I can see on the top there, I don't want this to fall. If you can see there, see with the marks? So now I know exactly where I'm placing my buttercream. So that's a really useful tip, because sometimes if you go there and then you go there and you've got to scrape it all off, it's just annoying. Just wanted to say really quickly, when you were doing this, if the buttercream starts lifting off, put it back in the fridge, because it has to stay cold. Okay, now we're going to do the two-tone. So my black has been stirred up and I'm happy with that. So I've got some cling film, lay the sheet out, and then make, as best as you can, the same size, a sausage shape. So you can move this around. Here we go. So that's one part. Now I've got my navy. And again, this has had a really good go around as well. So I'm happy with this one too. And this one's a little bit thicker. Excuse my fingers. So, right, I'm going to pop that one next to it. Trying to make them around about the same width. A little bit more on that one. Right, okay. I need to wash my hands. Okay, then we're just gonna rip this off here, like this. Get rid of that, open it out, push it over with your hand, push that down there, wedge it up, open the ends out, otherwise it will just splish out, and roll. Right, grab your two ends there, pull it towards you. The more you do that, the tighter it's going to get, and it binds them together more. And then you've got something that looks like, I don't know, black pudding? I don't know. Right, one end going in. Push that off to the side. Making sure that that fits. And then you're going to take one end of this, like this end is secure, and push it down as quite a bit. You want to open this out now to a good inch gap. Now, if you don't take enough, I mean, I've taken more than an inch, inch and a half. If you don't take enough, the cling film's going to come through and it's going to stop you getting the effect. Right, in it is. And push. So if we grab my lid, then we can just keep pushing until we're happy that both colours are coming through. Which I am. There they are. Right. Don't forget you've got your marks on the top. First mark, get this directly into the middle, and then push, make sure it clings to the bottom, and then up and down, up and down, up, down, and lift. Okay, so I've mixed up some more gold, very same consistency as before, and then I'm doing this wet. You may be best to wait, but I am just going to follow around the swirl on one of these. There we go. Okay, here it is. So that is my Faultline black and navy and gold swirled cake. So I hope you like this. I hope you find it easy and see that once you just break down those parts, it's actually not as hard as it actually looks in the first place. Just make sure you keep popping it into the fridge, and once it's out, it's done. But these effects are so good. I will make sure that I link all of these different things underneath for you, the gold, the comb, my tutorial for my black buttercream as well. All of it will go in there. So again, if you are doing that black buttercream, please read the comments underneath, the description box, which is in the comments box underneath, just to make sure that you're 100% sure what you're doing, and you'll be absolutely fine. It's that smoke that's the thing, so make sure that happens. So enjoy this, let me know what you think, and I will see you very soon. Take care, bye bye.